All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to what was originally intended to be Jedi Bills and my commentary for episode 2 of Fallout. Let me explain the situation and why uh, I had to push the show back so far from its original time. As of this particular point in time, I have been unable to contact Bill. I don't know if he's away, if he's offline, or what's happened. And I don't really feel comfortable doing the episode without him. So, what I decided to do until I can either get back in touch with Bill or he's able to join us is I'm going to come on and do kind of like an impromptu show. I know this isn't what everybody expected. It wasn't what I expected, but we're here. Several of you have been waiting in the chat since the beginning, and for that, I do appreciate it. I want to go ahead and acknowledge all of you now. The first one who arrived was Carlo Albanese. Says just dropping by to say hi. Hope everyone is as well as possible. And it's been a while since we've seen Carlo, so it's good to see him in the chat. Of course, Emoji Queen, Lady Mist, a friend of the channel, Curtis Selby. Loyal Blue Wrench, Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary, FKHC 2005, aka Tim, saying get on with it. This is me getting on with it. Unfortunately, we're going to try to get the Fallout tonight until such time as Jedi Bill is able to arrive. We will get started. As you can see, I was in the chat. I had a few issues of my own. StreamYard kicked me out for a while, but I had to jump back in. In the meantime, as Tim noticed, I was able to say hello to a few people who are also live tonight that I haven't had a chance to talk to in a while. Let's see. And of course, low spec Linux laptop. Thank you for joining us. All righty. Well, I also want to say hello to everyone who is watching right now on Bill's channel, everyone who is watching us on Rumble. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. All right. Well, since I have you here and you're a bit of a captive audience, I'll let everybody know what has been going on with my channel recently. As you may all know by now, I was recently monetized. I did a member stream over the weekend, which included on the panel a friend and channel member Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Now, as some of you know, Lester has had some health issues of late, and it was obvious that he was struggling a bit when he was on my program. He was hospitalized, but from what I understand, he is not expecting a long hospital stay. So hopefully, once he is back up on his feet, and hopefully that'll be sooner than later, he will be able to rejoin us right here, and of course, get back to his own channel. I also understand that our other friend in the community, Film Threat's very own Chris Gore, has been dealing with some issues himself since he got back from Vegas. I actually DM'd him this evening and was able to have a brief exchange with him. He's in good spirits, and I let him know that if he needs anything from me, I will, of course, be willing to do whatever I can to help. All right. I do have a new segment on my channel entitled the Read What You Own Challenge. And this was inspired by a booktuber in the UK named Criminali. If you're not yet subscribed to his channel, please do so. He's got some interesting content. Now, unlike myself, Ollie is something of a speed reader, you know. He's one of those guys who reads 100+ books a year. I don't know how he does that, you know, do however many videos it is a day that he does, you know, plus have a job. I also have a full-time job and obviously a channel, but not always necessarily the time to read. So what I decided to do, once I came to see that not everybody who does the challenge reads 100 books. Some people choose to kind of make up their own rules, you know, something that they can realistically stick by. And that's what I decided to do. Now, last year, around this time, actually, it was around January of 2023, was when I initially attempted to do this challenge. And even though our good friend Tim Hayes warned me ahead of time that I was biting off a little more than I could chew. And hello to JPRPH1. When Tim warned me that I was biting off more than I could chew, well, I pretty much did exactly that. And so, what I decided, I researched it. I watched other people's videos who were doing the challenge and realized, you know, that a number of people were kind of following their own rules. And hello to Lady V. This is one of Bill's backgrounds. I thought it looked cool, this little 80s neon thing. So I thought I'd put it on while we wait for him to hopefully get back online so we can get started with the program here. So I decided, and good night, Tim. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and lay down my own rules over how to do the challenge. And hello to Thade. There must be one cephalopod for each chat. Okay. If looks like a Caesar waiting to happen with that background. If the background is bothering anyone, I can switch it out. No worries. In fact, I suppose I could. Let me see what Bill has for a background here. This one looks nice. All right. Oh, I shut it off. There we go. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I decided to lay down some ground rules for myself. And so what I decided was I would read 52 books between now and the 15th, which is when I started this. I started on tax day. The 15th of next year. Read 50 pages a day. Don't start a book without finishing the one I'm currently reading. Books that I have on Kindle and Audible will count against the total. I can buy books in that time, but I'm not going to read them until I finish the initial 52 book goal. And if I'm able to do that within the year, then that's perfectly fine. And if I choose to read a book that I've read before, it's still a book that I own. So that counts. And that was basically the ground rules that I set down for myself. So the idea is that I essentially now have a new show, and that I'm going to do an episode a week and let everybody in on my progress. Now, since I've got you here, just to let everybody know, I have at present completed 2 books already. So I'm off to a pretty good start. And sometime at the end of the week, or perhaps even next Monday, I don't know yet. It depends on when I can get some time. I'll sit down and I don't know if it's going to be a live video or if I'm just going to record something. But I'll let everybody know. Just stay tuned to the to my community page. All right. Now, for those of you who watch my show, Unscripted, which is Sunday nights at 8 p.m., you know that was an episode where I did a little bit of soul searching. And I'm someone who has always been a movie fan, and I gotta tell you, the movies we've been getting out of Hollywood of late have been less than great. So I kind of decided that, and hello, Seraphim. I decided that I had to kind of amend my rating system a bit. You know, um, it hasn't really changed all that much. But I decided, you know, I watch a lot of movies on streaming or in other places that we cannot on air condone. So, um, it was getting kind of hard for me to say, wait and see a movie on streaming when I saw it on a streaming service, you know. So I felt I kind of had to amend my rating system in some fashion to show that, you know. I was also getting to the point to where I was recommending movies that I didn't feel like watching a second time. And I felt that that was a little dishonest, you know, of saying to you, I like the movie, but then when I would think about it afterwards, think, yeah, but would I honestly sit down and watch that movie again? So I decided that I needed to make some sort of a change as far as that was concerned. So I wrote down again another quick list. Um, Now, I don't give out perfect reviews, mostly because there are so few movies these days that actually earn it. I would say in the last 10 years, there's been maybe a handful of movies that are worth giving a perfect score to. And those are the kind of movies that I give like about 4.5 stars to. You know, 4 stars is, set aside a space on your 4K self, because there's going to be a new movie coming. 3.5 stars is go see it in theaters for full price. 3 stars is like a matinee. And here's where I started to make the change. I decided that 2.5 stars is rented on streaming, and that 2 stars was what was going to be my one and done grade. And then you start going lower than that. If a movie is actually putting me to sleep because it's so boring, like it's not like good bad, it's just bad, or it's just really boring, that would be like a 1 star or a star and a half, you know. And then there's like a half a star, which is this shouldn't even be considered a movie, you know. Um, and that's where my and that's where I kind of draw the line. But yeah, so basically that's what I'm going to be doing. I have this read what you own challenge that I'm in the middle of. And thanks again, everybody, for supporting me in doing that. I've got this new rating system that I'm going to be implementing, not only here, but also on Letterboxd and also Criticless. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to recently. And just hopefully I can get the air conditioning fixed before summer gets here, because it is starting to warm up, because I live in the South and it tends to get a little hot. So, all right. Another thing that I want to start doing on the channel is I want to expand. I want to expand my what's on my shelf segment that I do during unscripted into like a full on program. So it's just going to be a matter of finding a time to do a program like that, because I don't know if I'll be able to do it as a weekly show. It might have to be a once or twice a month, because not only do I, of course, have my own channel that I put content out on, I also collaborate with other people. I go on to other channels. So it's a little difficult kind of juggling all of that. All right. Well, while I am here, I thought I'd go into a little bit of news here. Now, I don't know if anyone has heard this story yet, so I'll run this by all of you real quick. Now, some of you might remember that Quentin Tarantino was in the middle of casting what was intended to be his last film, a movie entitled The Movie Critic. Now, Tarantino apparently sometime earlier today announced that he is no longer making that film. Like I said, casting had already been done Paul Walter Hauser was to play the lead character. Brad Pitt was going to be in the movie. Uma Thurman, Margot Robbie. There was rumors Tom Cruise was going to be in it. And apparently this movie is no longer to be, which I'm kind of sad about. Because, A, the movie sounded interesting. It was supposed to be at least somewhat based on a real-life guy. And I would like to have seen Tarantino take another trip back into the 70s. Unfortunately, apparently this movie is no longer to be. Apparently he let me read off a little bit of this. Says Quentin Tarantino is going back to the drawing board for his 10th and final film. The auteur had been preparing to start shooting the movie critic this year, but is backing away from the project, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. Tarantino has been toying with the movie critic in recent months. Set in 1977 California, it initially drew inspiration from a cynical movie critic that the filmmaker grew up reading. But sources say it morphed along the way into a film that would feature Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth, the stuntman he portrayed in an Oscar-winning performance in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's unclear if this film was going to be a prequel or a 1970s sequel to Hollywood, but in recent weeks, Tarantino had a change of heart again and moved away from the film entirely. The film was going to shoot for one day in August to qualify for a California tax credit before it began production in earnest in 2025. That is now no longer on the table. THR first broke the news of the feature more than a year ago in March, and it has been the subject of much speculation. Given Tarantino's pledge to retire from directing after making one final project, he's made 9 films, if you count the 2-part Kill Bill movies as one feature. In 2012, he told Playboy, "I want to stop at a certain point. Directors don't get better as they get older. Usually the worst films in their filmography are the last 4 at the end. I'm all about my filmography. One bad film F's up 3 good ones. I don't want that bad, out-of-touch comedy in my filmography. The movie that makes people think, oh man, he still thinks it's 20 years ago. When directors get out of date, it's not pretty." No studio was attached to the movie critic, which becomes the latest project to fall by the wayside for Tarantino. He previously worked on an R-rated Star Trek movie for Paramount that did not come to fruition. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of sad to see that that this movie isn't happening. I was really looking forward to it. It sounded interesting. But hey, it happens, I guess. All right. Let me check my messages here. For those of you who are joining us late, who were expecting to see episode 2 of Fallout, along with the Jedi Bill and myself, I'm hoping that can still happen. As of yet, I have been unable to contact Bill. We might either A, have to go ahead without him, or wait until next week. For those of you who maybe don't know what's been going on behind the scenes in like the last 24, 36 hours or so, a number of content creators have had issues um, with with YouTube, with StreamYard, of having connection issues, um, staying on the air, having uh, scheduled videos that aren't live, um, not air at the times they were scheduled to. I've heard a few stories from a few people. Um, that is perhaps the situation that has happened to Bill. I don't know. Uh, we'll see. Yeah. In the meantime, you got a little hangout time with me, and find out what is up with that. All right. Well, folks, while I've got you here, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to jump in. I will give you the chance to type. All right, sorry about that, folks. Been quite a night here, kind of playing phone tag with StreamYards here, folks. I'd like to say hello in the chat to LDG. All right, give us a sneak peek of your book. Okay, right. Well, like I said, I did finish a book, the first book that I had intended to read for my Read What You Own challenge, and then unfortunately I didn't get to read anything the second day, and then I completed an audiobook. All right. This is the first book that I read, and this is the one that I started the challenge out with, and it's a science fiction novel called The Employees by Olga Ravin. I have finished this book, so that's number one of 52. And then I also had an audiobook that I have a physical copy of here, and that I also have on Audible. And those of you who are fans of my Live from Sparkwood and 21 program might be interested in this. And this is Diane, the Twin Peaks tapes of Agent Cooper. And this is available on Audible, but this is the original Simon and Schuster audio cassette from back in the day. So I've had this for like 30 years, And of course, remember cassettes, folks? I still have cassettes. And you might be seeing some of them on future episodes of my program. So I got like one physical book and one audio book down. But the book that I'm hoping to start here in the next day or so is this book, Foster, by Clara Keegan. And she has another book where there's actually an excerpt in it called Small Things Like These, which will be my next book after this one. So this is going to be, the plan is this is going to be book number 3. So, I did say a book a week, and I'm already ahead of the game, which I'm really happy about. So we're off to a good start here. And of course, like I said, I'm going to be doing a video that's going to keep everybody up to date on my progress. And for those of you who are wondering, no, that is not a person in the corner back there. That's just like a safety jacket that someone gave me to use. Because I am out and about at night at times. So that's how it is. All righty. So that's the sneak peek at the next book in line. Foster by Clara Keegan. Mm. I'm getting a message right now from a friend of mine. He's also saying he's having some computer issues tonight. Been a crazy night, folks. All right. Let me see. All right. Thade with some suggestions here. You should get into the Emberverse series. by S.M. Sterling, starting with Dies to Fire. It's some really good sci-fi alternate history. I think you'd like it. All right. Thank you. Keep reminding me of that in future shows so I don't. Well, you know what? Hold on. Let me write that down. I actually do have a piece of paper next to me. Here we go. Emberverse series. S.M. Sterling. Dies to Fire. Okay. All right. I have made a note. All right. Let me try a little something here. YT keeps taking my like. You might let me. I tell you what. Try rebooting, and maybe it'll take. Because I know people have been having that issue too. Amberverse sounds fun. It kind of does. All right, let me try something here. Okay. Uh, Let me try something out here, folks. Bear with me. I'll put myself on camera. And you kind of get the idea of Geek Me learning all of this stuff. All right. Let me go over. All right. Continue. Let me see if I can't maybe do a trick or two here. Okay. Bear with me a moment, folks. Hmm. Trying to see if I can do this on my end here. Uh, all right. Uh, we all float here too, indeed. Uh, I wish I was floating right now, to be honest. Okay. Um, all electricity stops working along with some of the laws of physics, so everybody is pushed back to feudal times and have to rebuild. Interesting. All right. Now, what I was kind of hoping to do was to log into my own Amazon account and see if I can't maybe do a watch party of my own and figure out a way to hook it up to Cosme and so that we could go on with this show. However, I don't know if it is going to allow me to do that just at the moment because usually there's that watch party prompt, but I do not see it. Um, I don't know if we'll get nicked for this or not, but I'm going to show you my screen here. All right, so you go on to Amazon, and that's a little bit about the show. No, that didn't work. Okay. Well, I tell you what, folks. In the meantime, uh, let's look into the books that they brought up, which is the the Emberverse series. And here's the first one, Dies to Fire. It all started when an electrical storm over the island of Nantucket produced a blinding white flash, causing all electronic devices to cease to function. Computers, telephones, engines, radio, television, even firearms, and plunged the world into a darkness humanity was unprepared to face. But even as some people band together to help one another, others are building armies for conquest. Ooh. All right. Well, it does look interesting. That's definitely one I'm going to have to look into and take some time out to read because it's or to listen to, I should say, because it's 22 hours and 5 minutes long. All right. Well, now that I know what to look for there, and these I'm sure are the other some of the other books here. All right. Wouldn't that be an EMP to do that? One would think. All right, guess I'll have to read and find out. It says, I actually finished Fallout with my son-in-law the other night. We also watched Twisted Metal on Peacock. Nice. All right. Let me see. Because there's usually a prompt that allows you to set up a watch party, but I don't see it. Maybe it won't let me do it. Okay. Well, that was worth a try. Thade says the first trilogy is the first generation of survivors. Then the story jumps ahead and deals with the children. And then there's a third wave of stories about the grandchildren. 3 generations. Nice. 3 generations of survivors, 40 years worth of stories. Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Bear with me again a moment, folks. Just setting some things up for later while I can. All right, folks. So tried everything deleted. You down, called a no. All right, folks. All right, let me see. Thade says the first 3 books in that series are Dies the Fired, Protectors of War, and A Mutant Corvallis. Okay. Well, the original plan for tonight kind of went sideways, as has the tendency to happen. So here's what we are going to do. All right. I am, as soon as Bill is back online, or I can get in touch with him, or whatever has taken place. I don't want anybody to panic. I'm sure Bill is perfectly fine. As I said, a number of YouTubers that I know have had technical difficulties throughout the last day or two, and it's very possible that that's what happened with Bill, that he just couldn't log in for whatever reason. So what we're going to do is we are going to reschedule for next week at the same time. All right, this is the time that Bill set up that he wanted to do the show, so we're going to stick to that time, and we're going to come back next week, and we're going to have Fallout episode 2, and who knows, maybe to make up for it, we might even do episode 3. We'll see. I would like to thank everybody who joined me here for the show, and of course that's Lady V, Thade, Lady Mist, Tim, LDG, Curtis Selby. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. JPRPH1, Seraphim, Connie Cleary, Low Spec Linux Laptop. I want to thank everybody who is joining tonight over on Bill's channel and on Rumble. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. If you're new to any of our channels, please hit the like, share the stream, and if you like what you see, this was not a normal night, I know. Please feel free to subscribe. All right. Just to let everybody know, what I'm going to be up to. Let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. Um, if all goes as planned and Bill is back up and running, we will be right back here, 4:30, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Action Theater, and we are going to be watching The Equalizer. Um, and then I'll be on later on tomorrow for my weekend update, where I'm going to be letting everybody know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. And all right. So from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, may you be a wastelander or a vaulter. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win. Good night.